Well, back to the 2017 Ford Fusion. The shop here got brand new shift knob GSM module. So let's see. I'm just gonna plug it in. If it doesn't blink, then we should be in good shape. Like I don't think that's normal. All right, here we go. Shut the key off. Just one plug. There we go. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, it stopped blinking. Let's see. Uh-oh. Made the wrong call. Part 2 of the diagnosis. Luckily they can easily return this one, but I don't like doing that, so we have to do a little more research on that data PID that says yes from the brake from the body control module disabling the shifting. It says stuck in park. Pretty crazy stuff. Well, again, we have a green tree except for the power steering control module. It says invalid data received from AVS. Gear shift module, it's doing the exact same thing. You can try to override it with the little keyhole, and it still fights you. If you can get it over here, it'll fight you back. Identical behavior to this one. So let's see if we lock the door. Key on, engine off, self-test. No DTCs, and data stream says brake, transmission, shift, interlock system is preventing leaving the park position. That right there, we have to figure out why that is. Last time we didn't go that far because it was just the weirdest behavior. This blinking P, there's nothing about it in the owner's manual, there's nothing about that in service info, nowhere. So I don't know. Let's look up wiring diagram, see which wire it is. We can back probe to see what the voltage is, mess around with it with a test light, see if we can shift, maybe bypass it. What the heck's going on? Alright, here we go. So, BTSI, that's that wire right there, going to pin 12 of the gear shift module from the BCM, from the body control module. Okay? It looks like a power side switched wire that's telling this gear shift control module to stay in park. So that's the right pin. I actually slid the connector out. Pin 10, 11, 12. Orange and blue wire. Let's put the connector back in. Plug in the GSM. Let me do that off camera. And we'll measure the voltage on here, just with a voltmeter. My ground is connected to the cigarette lighter adapter. Meter works fine. Let's see what that wire does and compare to scan data. Alright, so the meter is on that wire. We have a solid P right now, 0 volts on the meter. Let's start up the car. See, it's blinking. We still have 0 volts on the meter. So let's go to GSM. Let's look at that data PID. Oh, where are you? Data stream. Select all. Okay. So brake, transmission, shift, interlock system preventing leaving the park position, yes. Now what can we do with this wire? If it's already at 0 volts, we can easily take a test light and go from battery positive. If the light finds a ground, like right here on my meter, the light will light up. The light works. Let's plug it in to right here. So the brake, transmission, shift, interlock hardwired input changed to no. Now it changed to yes, and when I press the brake, that goes to battery voltage. That's fine. Why is the BTSIS preventing the GSM from leaving park position? I still don't know where this input comes from. I looked everywhere in the wiring diagram. Is it stuck in some, is there some kind of reset for this thing? Because they did, when the car came in, the bushing on the shifter was messed up and the synchronization was out. It was setting those original codes. They fixed all that. The the actual shift motor works fine. This thing is still not happy. Is there some kind of reset they need to do to re-enable the system? So in the ECM, I'm going to try to reset the keep alive memory here. Test is now completed. Switch off. Okay. It just blinks, 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 blinks with no trouble code set in anywhere. Why are you blinking? This is a real mystery. I'm kind of stumped here. What would you do next? What other inputs can you check? That's the only hardwired input from the BCM to this GSM. Where's the other data pin come from? So the only variable here that I can think of is that after repairing the cable, it set those codes. Now the codes are not there anymore, but the system is locked out because the cable adjustment was not completed. That's a scanner function. It describes it here in the OEM info. Using a diagnostic scan tool, select cable adjustment mode. GSM will alternate flashing D, N, and S simultaneously. Choose D on the GSM. So the only tool that I have that actually has that function is the Think Tool Pros. It has cable adjustment mode, and that does that like bzz, bzz, activates the motor, and then you're free to turn this to any gear, and it blinks to whatever gear you turn it to. However, nothing happens. As this says, the GSM will alternate flashing D or N and S simultaneously. That does not happen. Choose D on the GSM. Once you do that, verify D is eliminated on the IPC, so it should actually shift the gears. Position the manual control lever in D. Rotate the manual control lever counterclockwise till it stops. So that's the actual lever on the transmission. Unlock the adjuster, move it, pop it in when you're in drive, and then choose P on the GSM, clear any DTCs, shift transmission through the ranges, and then you're good. So I think this range is not learned, and that's why we're locked out. I don't know why there's no code for that, like transmission, shift range not learned. That would be very helpful. I tried the Autel, it didn't even have that bidirectional control. I tried the shop's Snap-on Zeus, and this is why I don't update my Snap-on past 2016. So this is, the latest and greatest. transmission range control module. Yep, that's all we got. Codes and data. Useless stuff. So it looks like we might have to go the OEM route and get, pay for 3 days of IDS, the the Ford OEM software, and try to do this relearn. I guess might as well learn on this one and have it for the future, but this is where the industry is going. You need access to the OE software scanners to do these procedures where you reset stuff, reinitialize stuff. The aftermarket's trying to keep up, and they're doing a great job, but not everything's available. So we'll be back on this one. Kind of frustrating, but still learning experience. So we're back at the Ford Fusion. I'm running out of ideas. I actually called my friend Keith DeFazio just to, basically get a second opinion, talk about it. He was on the same page. He's like, we both looked up service information. There isn't anything that helpful, on All Data or even the Ford factory service, which describes the symptoms, no codes, and this selector is just blinking in park. Like that. And the data stream for the gear shift control module, which you would think will give you, if there's a problem, there should be a trouble code, but not in this case. In the data stream, that right there, brake, transmission, shift, interlock system is preventing leaving the park position. So if I press the brake, that changes to no. That is always stuck in yes. I've never seen it go to no. I even measured the signals on the pulse width modulated wires. There are 3 wires. If you look at the wiring diagram right here, PWM1 and 3, this is the gear shift control module, gear shift module GSM. These 2 go to the TRCM, right into here, transmission range control module. That's the actual motor that pulls on the cable. And then PMW2 or PWM2 goes to the PCM. Again, wire integrity is fine. I even used the test light to pull it down to ground, pull it up to positive. All the modules correspondingly set codes, the whatever, communication circuit high, communication circuit low. For example, these are the codes I got from just messing around with it. And there, gear shift control module, communication circuit low. So everything checks out. There are no codes. We're stuck in park. Should we call the transmission range control module? I already missed once with the shift knob, the GSM. That didn't fix it. So I'm wondering when that bushing on the transmission broke, the plastic bushing, the transmission range control module overshot itself and something broke inside. There's a clutch, a motor, whatever. It has to pull in the cable pretty hard to get the transmission to shift, and that's just a wear and tear item. And if the bushing broke, it could have hit the limit and just snapped something internally, because the the cable adjustment procedure, you can hear the motor, you can feel the cable getting pushed to park, but I've never seen it actually pull itself away from park. So that's my, I'll call this module. If it doesn't work, I'm gonna have to do this diagnosis for free for this repair shop, because if I miss twice, that they're not gonna be too pleased about that. But then the car is sitting here, they have no other options. So that's where we're going. Again, once you learn about the system and you know its ins and outs and quirks, then the next one will be a lot easier. So this is kind of a learning experience car where you're not gonna, make much just on this car in particular, but the learning experience, you're basically paying for your education. So we'll be back with a new transmission range control module. Oh, what a beautiful winter day this morning. Let's head to town, working some cars. The fluffy, wet snow actually sticks to the trees. It's beautiful. Ford Fusion. We're replacing the transmission range control module. This stupid thing, oh, it says 45 on it. I don't know what that means. This thing's heavy, so I don't know if they're trying to just be fancy, but this is definitely not saving gas. Just to haul this stupid thing around. Definitely not reliable. Made in Mexico. Oh yeah, they're all made in Mexico. So let's pop it in, cross your fingers that it works. It's the only other thing that could cause our issue. You have to remove the fender liner, get to it from here. Not a big deal. Hopefully it works. Alright, so I just kind of half put it back together, plugged it in. This is adjusted. Let's see what happens when we press the button. Still blinking. It works! It works! It works! Unbelievable. No trouble codes. It wasn't the knob, it was the transmission range control module. I can tear the old one apart. Thank goodness this car's fixed. Really, probably the most stupid, useless feature on a modern car. This shift by wire nonsense. I mean, fly by wire, okay, that's fine. They got that mostly reliable, but when these things start coming out, this is garbage. It adds weight to the car. It doesn't save any space. What is the point? Unbelievable. Anyways, this Ford's fixed. Thank goodness. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Alright, we got no trouble code stored. Let's take this Ford Fusion for a spin. A little bonus footage. First time it's moved in probably a couple months. Yeah, it's not a turbo, but it goes. Let's see if we have the door open. And the seatbelt unbuckled. It shifts to park automatically. Okay. And drive and push the L button. Yep, that works. Alright, hopefully it'll last a while. So I think the failure here was transmission cable, whatever, little clip on the transmission broke, and then this actuator module just went nuts and like overextended itself and broke internally. Maybe I'll tear the old one apart in my shop, but these new cars, it's never a dull moment. So a little more bonus footage. I wanted to check with the scanner with the new TRCM installed in the gear shift module data stream. If you remember, last time this data pid kept saying yes, it would, and the P would blink and you couldn't shift anywhere. So now when I press the brake, both of those data pids go to no, and now you can shift. So brake transmission shift interlock hardwired input indicates transmission should not leave the park position. That's your brake pedal. But this one, brake shift transmission shift interlock system is preventing leaving the park position. That kept saying yes, and nowhere in service info could you get a description of why that data PID, what tells it yes or no. Obviously the modules weren't happy, but no codes were set. So it's like an input problem and you chase your tail when in reality the stupid module is broken. You know, just a really poor design on a really silly system where the diagnostics, you know, once you see it once or twice, obviously you'll know exactly what to look for. But in this case, you know, if you're stuck in park and that data PID doesn't change to no when you press the brake pedal and everything is good, you want to check your cable, check your linkage, make sure the cable moves freely. Then the gear, whatever, the transmission range control module is likely broken inside. So we'll tear the old one apart, see what it looks like. But this is, you know, a huge learning opportunity. The next Ford we'll see, the diagnosis should only, you know, take less than an hour. This one we spent a considerable amount of time just learning about the system, playing around with it. Misfired the parts cannon once. The knob wasn't the problem, it was the actuator. So thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye bye. Well, I hoped everyone enjoyed that Ford Fusion stuck in park case study. Yep, a new transmission range control module fixed the vehicle, and that was quite a frustrating experience. So let's tear apart the old one, see what broke on the inside, and I mean, it's just so silly. See. You can at least salvage some screws from this thing, because otherwise it's a paperweight. Oh. Okay. Wow. That's why it's so heavy. Look, it has two big motors on it. Circuit board. Plastic gears. Oh yeah, that's reliable. Long term. And well, let's keep going. Oh, look, there's more circuit boards in there. This is just to pull your lever for the transmission. It probably weighs a good 20 pounds. I'm not kidding. I guess we can take off this bracket and the shaft and see if the whole assembly comes out of there. Something in here is definitely broken. Alright, so remove these two bolts holding the big bracket to the assembly. Here's one. Oh, because you can't get that bolt out without taking this arm off. Okay. Some engineer must be so proud of designing this module. Oh gosh. Safety feature, huh? Yeah, well, I'll tell them what I think of their safety feature. Okay, so it's a little star thing. I guess we'll just Pop that off. Finish taking this bolt out. They even put it on rubber dampers. How nice. Okay. Well, I guess there's another bolt somewhere. Oh, right behind this Made in Mexico sticker. I guess it's right about here. Yep. Okay, so now we have this piece. We have screws, screws, screws. This is like I do cars, but not for engines, right? Oh, they're Torx. Smaller than that. Smaller than that. Smaller than that. Okay. Look how much stuff there is just to pull a cable. It blows my mind. Honest to goodness. Yeah, did I mention this thing was on back order from Ford? I was customer number 547 in the waiting list for this part. So are all these Ford Fusions just stranded out there? Wow. Like, you're paying for a car, you just pay it off maybe, you know, in 5 years, and then this happens and you're out of luck. Ford Garage is going to tell you, sorry, you gotta wait until our engineers or factory makes more parts. Okay, so there's some kind of, there's a motor, there's two huge motors, there's gears. How do you keep going here? Oh, so these studs are actual, you should be able to remove these by using an appropriate socket. I want to see the carnage. Wow. Look at this stuff. Remember the motor going like me. Get some huge capacitors in there. Use that for something. So what is the deal here? What could possibly go wrong? Let me see how this thing operates. I mean, obviously this is a spring-loaded part. And that's the big... You got two motors driving one gear to help this thing turn. And it was not turning one way. Now you can manually turn it, but it would not turn on its own. Why? You should be able to. Get rid of that. Okay. So this basically goes like that. That's the range. Now this little arm here, what does this motor do on the back side? Ah, wow. So it moves this entire plate right here. See, there's a screw right there. Okay, so then what? Where's the sensor for this thing? Position sensor. So this board is only connected to here and the two drive motors. Oh, and I guess this connects to this drive motor. Okay. Ah, so that spring loaded. I'm assuming it's supposed to prevent something from... Oh, so this turns. See, can we pull this off? Pull the sketchy I don't see any broken bits in here, but something definitely malfunctioned. Get this sucker off. Okay, here we go. Got that gear out of the way. Now we can move this plate back and forth. Now what does that do? It rotates that little cam. I still don't understand. I guess it's supposed to be like a block. Anyways, you get the picture. So you already know the moral of the story of what I think about this. The fact that there were no trouble codes set when the system is obviously broken, the P button, the knob is blinking, it knows there's a problem. Why would it not set a trouble code like transmission range module, you know, activation or cable seized or something? Because initially the failure was the little plastic bushing on the transmission end, on the cable end, disintegrated. And this thing, I think, over traveled. You saw that over current code, so it was really trying to move. It didn't see the transmission move because the cable was snapped off. And I think that hurt this module. So all the engineering that went into this nonsense, why can't they put that towards designing a better plastic bushing or replace it with something more reliable that other cars have that are, you know, lifetime, they don't self-destruct in 80,000 miles? That would be a better safety feature, because if your transmission cable becomes disconnected from your transmission, that's a big problem. Not this, you know, automatic shifting in the park when you open your door. You know, that's basically, if someone does that, you know, that's Darwinism. But that's all I have to say about this stuff. But hey, at least car's fixed. Yes, the parts cannon got it on the second try. And next time we'll know if this motor's making that me sound, then it's probably broken. So Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.